HappiDaze here. In today's video, we're going and taking on day 4 of Season 20 of Grand Party. See if we can get up to 12 wins and hopefully put us in a good position to get 15 wins for tomorrow. Just a quick reminder before we get into it, just make sure that when you're done for the day, you set your captain to a rare recruit in either the 3rd slot or the 2nd slot. It'll just help everyone out. Let them know what teams you're using, and also make sure they don't have to face burst captains. Let everyone help get 15 wins. So be the change you want to see in the community. Help everyone out. So we're going to go ahead and see what our opponents look like for the first match. So the good news is 2 of those teams are non-burst legends, which is fantastic. And also, even if we had to face that first team, that's a Psy Luffy, and the Int Luffy does really good against him. So either way, not really worried at all about either of these teams. So I think we're just going to go ahead and face this second team here, just because it seems like it's easier. Don't have to deal with the Slasher team. We will have the ability to get our specials off from our Slasher team off pretty quickly. So just put us in a really good position to be able to hopefully wrap this up without having too much difficulty there. If they do happen to get a shot off, then it just charges our burst gauge and just lets us kind of get in a good spot to use our burst and just auto-win what's left. But this front line isn't really that scary. I mean, you have Jack with the HP cut, so you kind of got to watch out for that. You have Luffy. He's obviously a nasty, absolute destruction hidden unit that's out there, so we have to watch out a little bit for him. And he does have S-Hawk on the bench as well, so obviously when he comes in, hits units, he can definitely hit like a tank, so you just have to be careful there. But the good news for us is that we, going into it, you know, their CT speed for strength is reduced, so that's kind of the one benefit that we have there. So we'll start having our guys go now. Like I said, we have a special in the back pocket in case we need it. Though I'm not really anticipating us having to do it. So yeah, because we have the 50% HP cut from Whitebeard, we didn't really charge the gauge that much when Jack went. But everyone's going to burst to the front here. The good news is Roger and Whitebeard are going to go, get that 30% HP cut for us. Unfortunately, someone a couple more units would be in the front line, but they weren't. That's fine. And it just leaves Smoker and S-Hawk on the bench, and hopefully we can finish them off pretty easily. Don't have to use Burst, which is even better. And then we can just go ahead and get on to match number 2 in just a few minutes here. So there we go. That's the good news. Our special gauge is full. But like I said, it's not going to matter. That'll just let us get through match 2 much quicker. There's a Dex team in match number 2. So while they are very tanky and they don't hit like crazy hard, it might take just a little bit for them to charge that gauge on us. But once they do, we'll basically be able to just whack them really well. And the good news for us is they do have the Blackbeard here, so it is the 40% HP cut, so that will just, you know, help us really to charge that gauge pretty quickly. They do have the Gear 5 Luffy in the back bench, so you just got to watch out for that. That's Psy Luffy, but it kind of is what it is. Just gonna wait till we get a little bit closer to having our specials ready to go. And then use it. Actually, before they really have their specials ready to go is the ideal time to use it, just so we can make sure that, you know, we do the most damage. We'll just do a nice burst there. Does a ton of damage. Luffy's going to come out and do a ton of damage as well. So yeah, the good news is hopefully that Luffy will actually attack us and be able to charge our burst meter again. That way we can just wipe the rest of these units out. So the good news of this team and why this team works so well is we have obviously Luffy and Zoro who can do the revive here, and then we have Otama who just keeps healing. It just makes it really easy for us to be able to go in and just take out these units without too much problems. We do have the Nami and Karina unit who basically are there just to keep refreshing specials. Just a little bit more damage and we'll be able to use our special and just wrap it up after that. Not too many problems there. Now Mikurina end up reversing Luffy's special, which just makes this battle go a little bit longer, which is fine. Luffy revive is there, which is perfect. Yeah, the only downside about this team is that it doesn't have like a huge offensive output, so it's really great for taking damage and stalling. But unfortunately, we have to take damage in order to be able to activate our special, and the non-Mikurina just keep reversing specials, which just takes forever. But it's safer in the end, which is why it kind of works out so well. But it's just a little bit of a pain that we have to basically wait for a couple rounds for our specials to go. If it timed out, it still wouldn't have been a big deal. We had like 20 seconds left in there anyway. But yeah, that will go ahead and secure win number 1 for us for the day, which is awesome. You love to see that. So let's go ahead and see what opponents we have to face for match number 2. So it looks like we have 3 opponents here. Unfortunately, it's all burst captains, is what it is. We'll deal with it. We'll move on. But based on here, so I'm not worried about any of these first teams at all. Like I said, the quick team, as long as we have our Slash team going, they should be able to take care of that pretty easily. Strength team has the CT debuff, so we should be able to beat them pretty easily. And even that quick team at the bottom in the first slot, like, it shouldn't be that big of an issue. But I can see that the Luffy for the first and second team are in the second position, so I can be pretty confident that that's not a Slasher team, hopefully in that second spot. So I'm going to go ahead and face this first team here, end up having the Slashers go first and kind of keep the normal style that we've been doing for kind of the other matches and kind of go from there and see what happens. The downside here is I don't think they have a Blackbeard on their team. No, they don't. So he's good because he does the big HP cut to us, which would kind of just help us get our special charged better. Once again, the goal is to be able to have 2 specials saved for either the second or third match, and that basically will pretty much guarantee you a win. If you have 2 of these int G5 bursts ready to go, it's pretty much a free win. So that's kind of the strategy that we're going to go with. They do have the new Anniversary Roger on there, so it's interesting to see him out there. Big Mom can do some damage and with their half stats and then attacking, so we do have to be a little bit careful about that. But other than that, I'm not, like I said, too worried about this team. I actually want them to do a little bit of damage on me, just because I don't want to... I want to go into that second or third match with my special already charged. So hopefully we take some damage here. Obviously with the shield, we reduce the damage that we take, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. Oh, there we go. Unfortunately, it didn't really hit many people or do much damage to everyone. So everyone's health actually stayed pretty close to the top, unfortunately for us. But it is what it is. That's fine. Like I said, we'll go on. The good news is because they have the G5 leader on their side, they charge their burst by doing damage, and now there's not really a lot of people on their side who can do damage. So they won't have their burst charged. Because what I'm really trying to do is have 2 specials, and if you can have your burst go before their burst, basically it'll instantly or almost instantly recharge it for you, which just makes the win that much easier. So that's kind of what the strategy that we're going for is there. So we'll see. Once Roger and Whitebeard go, I'll probably just auto skip at that point, just because, like I said, there's no way they can beat us at this point, which is the good news for us. Actually, it looks like Roger and Whitebeard will probably wipe out the last 2 right here themselves. Yep, there you go. Their burst gauge is only half full, so we should be able to do a huge chunk of damage in that second round before they're able to get their burst off. So we're going to stick with the same kind of strategy that we've been using before. I could throw that int team in the second slot, and they would probably do pretty good. Oh, okay, this is not the team I was expecting. They have a quick team in the middle section, which is an interesting choice, and they just have Luffy on the back bench. So, yeah, interesting choice there. It kind of is what it is. Like I said, hopefully when Akainu goes, he will charge our burst gauge, and hopefully we'll see if we can get our burst off, hopefully before they get their burst off. Otama just keeping us healed up there. Unfortunately, not enough for us to get our bursts off yet, which is unfortunate. But Nami Queen doesn't come down and reverse specials on a couple units there. We'll just let our Luffy go first. Hopefully do some good damage to them. Took out Tesoro, which is good. He's a 4K damage dealer for them, so you'd love to see that. And they'll bring Blue Jam from the back there. He does a 4K hit too as well, so it's not like we're out of the woodworks yet. But hopefully... Oh, we're literally on the precipice of our special being ready to go. So now we're just waiting. Hopefully, like one or two more hits, and we'll be ready to go. But yeah, we just want to have maybe like Smoothie or one of those guys go, just so we can do a little bit more damage. Perfect, exactly what we were looking to do. We can use our burst, and then if they happen to use their burst, then we'll have our burst pretty much fully charged again. It'll make it really easy to win. So yeah, not a worry here. It looks like it should be a pretty easy victory here for this match without too many problems there. So this strategy seems to be working out pretty well. Like I said, what you have to do is make sure that you can win Battle 1 and not use a special, and then you're in a really good shape to be able to just go ahead and take out the rest of these guys. So at this point, there's no way this Luffy can beat me. Even if he uses his burst there, he's not going to be able to beat my guys with what I have there. So there you go. So that will go ahead and secure victory number 2 for the day, bringing us up to 11 wins. Love to see it. Get some additional rewards and bounty here. All right, so let's go ahead and see what our opponents look like for match number 3. All right, so we got 2 Int Luffys at the top there, so obviously we can want to avoid them if we can, so we're going to try to stick away from them, which will bring us to that Tesoro at the bottom. So let's just take a quick look at the team. Looks like a mix of mostly strength there, which works out well for us because they are debuffed. So that will just help us get the easy win. Obviously, we can't see what is in their second or third slot because we just can't see the second or third team. So that's the danger there. But I think it's safer having a non-burst captain versus facing either the first or second there, where you end up having that having to deal with a nasty burst there. So we're going to stick with the same strategy we've been going with. It seems to have been working out pretty well for us so far. So get through this first match with the Slasher team. I do know some people like to use Hawk in the Int team, but I just think he just does so much better sticking him in the Slasher team. Like the damage that him and Roger Whitebeard do are just ridiculous in terms of, you know, just knocking out units like nothing. So if you're debating whether to use him in the Int team versus Slasher team, I would probably definitely recommend you stick with the Slasher approach. I think that's probably the safer and better way to handle this. We're going to get a shield here, which will just help us out. Keep our guys alive a little bit longer. Good news, it looks like Roger and Whitebeard are going to go first. So that will just make sure that we can get a pretty significant HP cut before the S-Hawk goes, which will just help guarantee that we knock out 3 others. We do have to beware of the Luffy that just came in. Obviously, he can hit through defense and just be an absolute menace and tank. So we do have to kind of watch out there. But I think we will be okay. I'm not kind of worried at all about this. Yeah, and we just knocked him out, so that just makes me even less worried about that. So, yeah, at this point, there's nothing that they can really do to win. I don't want to skip just because I want to make sure that we get that burst gauge charged. So actually, it would be really good if that Tesoro could hit us. Yeah, perfect. Yep, just charge that gauge even more. Yeah, so that's exactly what we were hoping would happen, just to put us in a really good position. We're going to get another shield when Shanks goes, which is great. You love to see that. And now it's just waiting until basically Roger Whitebeard or S-Hawk are ready to go, which will be in just a couple seconds here. Yeah, so boom, just like that, we take them out. Not too much problems there. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what their second and third team are. Obviously, we can't see them, so it could be anything. But we have basically 2 bursts that we can use. So yeah, it's a side team, which is good. I thought it might have been the slasher team, which would have been a little bit scarier. But yeah, and they do have the new Sanji on this team too, which is interesting, and the new Jin. So obviously this person pulled a little bit for some of their units, which is cool. Good to see that people are pulling and doing all that stuff. But yeah, it still should be an easy match. I'm not kind of anticipating too many issues. Similar to what we did in the previous match, we'll kind of just wait till the specials are just about ready to go. The main damage dealing special on here is probably going to be the Yamato until that Luffy comes in. Not really worried about anyone else there. So let's just go ahead and use this burst here. Just does crazy amount of crazy stuff. And it looks like we're probably just going to miss out on our Luffy going here, which is kind of unfortunate for us. If he would have went, he probably could have knocked out the rest, and then with the force out, we probably wouldn't have even had to worry about it, but it is what it is. Oh, actually, great. He was able to go, so that's fantastic. Love to see that. We already got the revive, so that will kind of make it a little bit easier for us to get through everything. Charge our specials a little more, keep everyone healthy and ready to go. Yamato and Rebecca Toy Soldier come back, which is completely fine. There's only 5 left, so if we can charge our burst, we can pretty much kill them and kill everyone else in one shot and get done and come out with 12 out of 12 for the day. I think Nami and Karina are gonna, just take care of some specials here, just to not let them hit us. And Luffy's just gonna come in and just absolutely destroy people like he likes to do. So there you have it. That's kind of the strategy that I'm following the last couple of days, and it'll probably be the strategy that I follow going into the final day. But just like that, we're able to go ahead and secure 12 wins for the day. As a reminder, just go ahead when you're done your matches for the day, set your leader to someone who's not a burst leader so that people know what kind of team you're going with. Hopefully people realize Otama that I'm setting here is the Free Spirit team. So hopefully that they'll know that that's kind of what you have to watch out for in the team build against that. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned some strategies, and hope your grand party is going well so far. Let me know in the comment section below how many wins you've got so far and how your grand party is going. And also, if you don't mind, like and subscribe. It looks like 92% of the people who watch these videos aren't subscribers, so I'd love to have you guys as part of the family. And until next time, be kind to each other. Thanks.